what is so special about this tribe, and also a little bit of insight to tease what we might expect on the 20th of September when the Xin-xi tribe will face off not only against, like no longer against its own, but against other tribes.
For sure. So the thing that makes Xin-xi unique is that it starts with the climbing technology, and it's going to have a lot more metal resources than the other tribes in general. So typical openers are always going to be a tier 1 tech that is either hunting maybe fruits or fishing, or a tier 3 opener where they go for the mining and then they can level up their villages and their cities. But that is, of course, only if they have good metals, biomes, and resources in their cities. So it's an overall very slow tribe compared with some of the others. But when we take a look at how they will stack up against the other tribes, the question then is, the main question is, are they able to really gain a lot of leverage by maximizing the resources in their villages and then use that for a late game? I think some of the other tribes are, can be a lot more aggressive. The benefit with Xin-xi, of course, the defense bonus. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they stack up, but we know that they do well. Right?
Well,
the Lib got pretty far last year, so
let's see who out of Mickzoo or Willibomb will be representing them on the 20th of September. Let's not forget, this is a best of 3, so we're going to see these two go head-to-head. At least one more beyond this game, but in a series of 2-0s, maybe the final will be much the same. What do you think of the start?
I like this opener for both players. Willibomb getting the tier 0 upgrade on his capital. Both players are very comfortable with their metal resources spawn. I would say Mickzoo slightly better, looking at that tier 2 forge, as well as a tier 4 forge. So he's got level 4 forge, level 2 forge, and some other forges, good levels there as well. Curious to see which direction Willibomb moves into here. Is he going to replicate previous player where, Mickzoo turned the first game that we saw where he went for philosophy? That is a possibility. I don't think so, because he is on 2 villages. It would delay him a lot. So yeah, goes for mining here. And one of the things that, so if we take a look at the forge spots here, he does have a level 3 forge, so he's got very good forge spots here, Mickzoo. Now, in terms of the spawn, both on either side of the map, like Willibomb all the way towards the east, Mickzoo mostly towards the west here. A little bit unlucky that he couldn't move towards that village. It's kind of like, touch, see but can't touch. He's going to have to need fishing or somehow go around. So slightly slowed him down, that movement, but then again, you can't know that. What we'll most likely see here early game is going to be similar to the last game that we saw between Willibomb and Tai, where both players built up their villages. Willibomb going for markets, I don't see him doing that this turn because they're a little bit far away. If you take a look at, where would he place his markets, a little bit awkward there. So most like path for Willibomb is going to be fishing and then trying to expand. For Mickzoo, he's got slightly better market spots. He can do a good market in the southern cities that are currently visible to him right now. And this rune here, I'm curious to see what he can get. What potentially would be good here? I mean, resources, stars are always good. Maybe some tech, smithery would be really good for him here as well, to get that for free. Capital growth is always good, but I would probably want to get some stars or smithery here. But there we see smithery for Mickzoo here. He's going to be able to get a very nice giant this turn. He's got the stars. He can actually go for forge up top there, get 5 back, and then place another forge or go for the metal in Chayo if he wants. Yeah. So getting the 5 back, then going for that one. And then he could even get 2 giants by popping the Park of Fortune in Sucha. So we'll see 2 giants this turn, if he decides to go for it.
You think he should?
Wouldn't
it be better to hold it in reserve?
Yeah,
you think? Yeah. Okay.
I think he should. Why delay? I mean, right now you're far away from opponents, but okay, he decides to go for Xiu. Okay.
I see now, Willibomb. What can he do? Heads down south.
Or
Okay.
not too bad. Not too bad.
Now
So
he knows where he is.
Yeah. He gets vision on Mickzoo here. Goes for forestry. Is gonna chop. And this is actually a play that I've seen often. Players going for forestry and then chopping most of their forests to then go into another tech. Very common that we've seen from these top players. But I have to just mention that I really do like the positioning of these villages. You take a look at Poxicha, which is bordering the lake. Same with Gashka or Gashna. And then he has another village that is bordering the lake. So he's got pretty good water access compared to Mickzoo here, who only has, as of now, even with the other village that he's about to capture, 1 village that has water access, unless of course he can lock down that other village that he sees there, which he probably will do right now. So he's gonna go for fishing, he's gonna go for that, and then go on that. So he's gonna have 2. This is gonna help him out. Now, he's probably going to end his turn here any second, but you can see that he can pop a Forge in Xio and get an immediate level 2 Forge, and possibly, if he decides to border growth, level 3. I think he'd want to capture that village down there first, just so he doesn't miss out on too much population. Yeah, here we see more of the land, lay of the land, and the resources that Willibomb now has available to him. He's got some decent farm spots there. He's got, still the 2. Well, the forges are not the best compared to Mickzoo, of course. They're not bad, but.
What would you say the percentages is then?
Percentages are always hard, but right now,
I'm just watching the betting line. I want to see if it changes.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Like it depends. It depends on what is in the middle here of the map. But like based on the information that I currently have, I would say it's 55 to Mickzoo and 45 to Willibomb. And the reason why is because, despite Willibomb being in the lead in terms of stars, 7 stars per turn, I think Mickzoo can convert his slightly slower opener into more momentum moving into the mid game.
See, this is why it's good to have 2 of us, because I'd have said it was dead even. I wouldn't have clocked that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just taking a look at the resources and the direction that what do you actually get from technology here? I mean, Willibomb can go for organization and, I mean, farming, maybe get a couple of upgrades there, but what does farming do? It's such a useless tech, in my opinion. Unless, of course, you're a tribe, like who's it, Zabasi? Looking at the north side here, though, Mickzoo is looking very, very good with the villages there. He's going to capture 3 villages next turn, and I get why. Again, he's taking his time here, because he's going to have 32 stars. What technology could he possibly want and need? And let's not forget, he does not have vision of Willibomb, yet he does know where he is. He does know he's on the all the way on the east side of the map. Yeah, he has to be for sure. Otherwise, he would have caught him and seen him in the north. So with that information and the fact that there is a lot of water here, there might be some naval action going on. The question now in Mickzoo's mind is probably, am I gonna try and go for that, or am I gonna go for markets, riding roads? Yeah, so he's gonna go for riding roads here, and then possibly even markets next turn. Recognizing that he's gonna have the 6 cities, he's going to be able to get the Grand Bazaar. He's gonna have a nice boost of economy here. Willibomb could also, looking at this, he's placed his forges pretty well. He could get some decent markets here. He can get a level 3 market, a level 5, 6 market, a level 5 market. Yeah.
Yeah, you were mentioning the difference in stars before. Now look at them.
Yeah. So Willibomb going for riding roads would make a lot of sense here. I get why he would maybe try and go for fishing. At the same time, I'm thinking he would probably need to get an explorer going here. Maybe once he captures that northern village that is right next to his warrior, he's going to be able to get more information, which might reassure him of how to move forward here. Because, again, he knows that Mickzoo has fishing, right? He can see the port, but he doesn't know what's behind the fog of war. Does Mickzoo have more troops, more ports that are connecting to the ocean there? He doesn't know. So that is a little bit of an unknown for Willibomb, and I think he has to plan for multiple events. What can be true here? So, and the only way really Mickzoo gets access to the water from here is the villages that he's just about to siege now. He could maybe border growth at one, like Xio, to get some water access. Okay, so he might move towards trade. Is that going to be his first one? Maybe roads to connect capital and then trade, or just trade? It would make more sense to go for trade here, just to kind of get his boost going, because that's going to give him a lot of starts per turn.
Very much more spread out over here, Mickzoo.
Yeah.
And as we've seen previously, being that spread out has not necessarily been conducive to a victory.
Not always. Not always. So that explorer is very helpful. Gets the... A little bit unfortunate that I went back north. He was probably hoping he was going to go south, give him more information on his villages there. Finds the ruin, but he doesn't have vision down there. So if he doesn't go for a second warrior in Sigu, then he won't be able to unsiege, or not unsiege, but kick off the warrior that Willibomb has from that ruin. So we'll see. This is purely kind of like RNG, but like he either has to go for something or not. But yeah, nice, very nice market. And if I'm Mickzoo here, I'm also going for a border growth on Siu, so that I have access to the final medal that is sitting right on the edge, and then also giving me better water access from the front, because he doesn't have any water access on the front except for Sigu, which is a hard city to level up, given that there is not a lot of resources there right now. So he's not going to be able to produce a lot of troops, a lot of units from that spot. One thing that he should do is most certainly go for an explorer as soon as he can on Sigu, just to get some more information, because you know, he's got good vision now, but there's still a chunk that he can't see. And that, you know, if I'm Mickzoo, I'm like, how do I work with this?
Yeah.
You can make some pretty accurate predictions, but it's always hard. You know, I mean, he just sent his giant back there, and are we seeing the border growth? Yeah. So that's going to give him, first of all, another giant that gets pushed. Okay, that was his plan. So he likely moved that back, so he would be pushed onto the... Okay, so now Willibomb gets his rune for free. And he goes for trade here, so he's gonna get some nice stars return going here. He can chop that to go for an explorer immediately, and then he can go for yeah, that's pretty much all he can do. He's now considering, you know, am I just gonna leave my units here? I think I should. Okay, goes for the additional stars. Yeah, he's not in a rush to go for the explorer. So Willibomb is going to be 2 cities down by the looks of it. And going back to what you said, Laith, I think right now, 3 cities down. So look at the difference in cities here. You mentioned that he's pretty spread out. That is absolutely true, that sometimes being spread out is not always good. The one thing that I'm going to be looking at here is how is he going to build up defenses strategically?
Yes, I mean, we saw in the last game how detrimental it can be when you misallocate your forces, because we were talking in the break, and that's what we think happened, right? There was that concentration of the giants up north, and that allowed Willibomb to push in the center with giants. So with this being so spread out, does Mickzoo run the same risk?
Yeah. Yeah, that's really what it comes down to here, and yeah, hits him. You can kill that warrior next turn, so that's not a threat. Willibomb will get, of course, will get the rune here. But very even on stars, very even on points. You see that both players have now found a good balance. The one thing that Willibomb doesn't really know is the amount of villages that Mickzoo is about to capture. That will give him a big boost here. So if we try and calculate the momentum moving forward here, Mickzoo should be in a better position. What Willibomb has to do here is he needs to get some water control, I would say.
Yeah, I was going to say, he needs to get into the water. I mean, Mickzoo already has a presence there. There we go, fishing. And he has to do it quite quickly and with a consistent sort of push. And this is what... Is he listening to us? Is he on the call? Is he on the Discord call?
Yeah. I think that would have been the correct play regardless, but hopefully he can get a lighthouse.
Oh.
No, okay. But either way, he's going to get some good vision here. That's going to be very helpful. So not getting the lighthouse, sure. The only challenge with that would be the lighthouse would have only been worth it really if he could have secured the final lighthouse. Like, you can have all the lighthouses except one, and it's not going to be worth it. So, but okay, goes for a border growth here. Interesting play. I'm not understanding. I'm not immediately seeing the benefits, because he's got. What could he have not done if he hadn't done it? He can. Okay, that's interesting. Maybe he wants more range to kind of like heal and have his troops, like just heal. I'm not sure. The thing about Mickzoo now is that border growth was also very good by him, because he's one road and one port away from having really good, now actually great water access, same as Willibomb. With those giants, he's got 2 giants already. He's got another one following up very shortly. He can also start moving those giants from his capital, Chao, into the water there. What will that mean? Well, it essentially means that he's going to be producing more naval units per turn than Willibomb. And that might make a difference long term. So, 8 cities to 6. We're currently on turn 13, 0 kills. We're most likely seeing a kill next turn. But yeah, this is big for Mickzoo. Getting that vision, seeing the bulk of his forces, that will give him so much information to work with here. He now thinks, okay, well, he's got 2 giants, one in the back there. two juggernauts, one giant in the back on land, most likely going to move into the water here. How am I now going to deal with this? So the early game, we're moving into the mid game now. We've seen that both players have done well to really stack up on stars and resources. What we're moving into now is battle. And the main question is, who is able to make the most effective trades? And who is able to... I got the first kill there.
Turn 13, I think that's the slowest we've had so far.
Yeah.
What are you
there, though?
What are you pondering there?
Yeah, no, I was because there were two rooms here. Mickzoo might go for the one in the ocean.
There's better place for it. I can't see Willibomb getting there first.
Yeah, no, he's not. Well,
you can't see it.
You can't see it. Yeah. At this stage of the game, you know, the one thing that you want from runes, like runes are amazing early game. The longer the game goes on, the less they start to actually be very useful. Because you know, for starters, if you get resources, you know, 10 stars when you have 60 stars per turn, those extra 10 is not going to make the biggest difference. Like early game, it's all about momentum. So one of the things that I think would be beneficial here at this stage is maybe some fun tech, like, you know, Willibomb just got strategy.
Yeah.
We've seen him go for strategy several times just because it's a strong naval unit. But also, if he gets technology from that mountain ruin that he's currently on up north there, he gets tech. He might even get cloaks, right? That might be an angle. And then if he can get cloaks, he's 2 turns away from popping that in Xini-Kai and even the northern city all the way up there. So it can go many ways here, but so far, Willibomb is doing a better job of getting onto the water. That is, you know, he's got more units now. He's prioritized more units on the water. Oh, no. Okay, never mind. Whew. I don't know why in my head, but I was like, can Willibomb just siege that Sigu city now? Did Mickzoo forget? But no, it's Mickzoo's turn. Yeah, gets a little bit of defense there. Gets a warrior. It's gonna be good to defend that. It's not the most essential city. Like if you know, short term at least, Sigu is not going to be very, very important. I would say one of the more important cities for Willibomb to focus on would be the north city there. I can't read the full one, but it's something Rock Sitsu.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to try and defend that southern one either.
Yeah.
Well, a little bit.
Yeah.
Having said that, again, it's still a city.
It is a city. I mean, 3 cities up, Mickzoo is, and when you're 3 cities up, you're able to produce more units per turn. So one thing that over time can happen is that you're just going to be overwhelming your opponent with more troops. And then it's about how do you then navigate the excess units. And I think the best way to do this for now is, at least for Willibomb, is if Willibomb can perhaps deal with those juggernauts, maybe build a couple of bombers in the back. If he can build those bombers, he's able to make some effective trades that will get his kill count up, and it will also try and even out the difference in units that Mickzoo's able to create. But it doesn't, of course, stop Mickzoo from getting a lot more stars per turn. I mean, we're looking at a 15 star difference right now. And those 15 stars is 3 additional swordsmen or some additional tech, right? Okay, gets resources here, 10 additional stars. So, you know, one thing that we just discussed is what is the benefit of getting these additional stars later on in the game. I mean, yeah, he's back up to where he initially started. He can do a little bit more here. Can he do a lot? No. I was actually hoping for him, for Willibomb's sake, that he would have gotten some tier 3 technology. Maybe he would have gotten. And by the way, Leif, did you notice if he got sailing before he picked up the rune, or did he get that after?
I think he picked it up after.
Okay.
No one to stake my reputation right there.
Yeah.
That's a wall of giants in the center. That's gonna look intimidating for you, Mickzoo.
Yeah. So that wall of giants there is going to protect those rafts. And Willibomb is now setting himself up for either bombers or some scouts to
it's got to be. I mean, I think he's going to probably pick up some scouts initially just to make sure. Sailing is bought after the ruins, by the way.
Yeah, sailing was bought after. Okay, yeah.
Just to confirm. Yeah, I think I'd like the bombers to come and play here, but I have a feeling it's going to be scouts first.
Mm-hmm.
It makes more sense. There's a clash of heads prepped here. 61 stars to 47, though, is huge.
Let's see if Mickzoo decides to go for the rune here. I mean, with the wall of... Because if he doesn't do it, he's always losing that giant.
Yeah, I think he has to go for it, surely. Like, he has to take it. Why wouldn't he? Like, retreat, I guess, but you're always going to lose the giant.
Because another possibility is maybe hitting the 36 HP, trying to damage. He can do some free damage here.
Yeah, you're right. There you go. Nice. I actually prefer that. There's a reason he's playing, not me. I prefer that. Still maintains the ruin, so he's got that sort of defense, but gets the free damage, so he's not wasting a turn. Has the giants in position. Now we have to see what Willibomb is going to do. Will he bomb? That's what we need to find out. What do you reckon? Scouts or...
Will he bomb, indeed? Well, he's got, even if he does decide to go for it, it's going to be very expensive for him. At most, he can go for one bomber, because he has to buy the tech. He doesn't have philosophy, so it's full price at 6 cities. That is an expense, at least 20-something stars. Then he needs to produce, well, he can actually maybe just produce 2? I don't know. But even if he does that, what about the turn after? Because Mickzoo now has a giant in, on the north side there. He's got a giant currently pressuring Yogu. He's got 2 swordsman rafts, one 20 HP, one 15 HP. Even if you were to turn the 10 HP raft or the 15 HP raft into bombers, you're just going to deal a little bit of splash damage onto those juggernauts. But he's got 2 more juggernauts lined up in the back. So and another one.
How many's he got in total? He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there, and then a giant on land as well.
Yeah, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 giants right now.
A little excessive, don't you think?
So let's see. I'm very okay.
Navigation. There you go.
Navigation
does go for it.
Mom, okay. And the thing is, does he see? How did he play this? Okay. Bombs.
I think it's going to come down to this, but this is what I'm saying. I think the reason he's gone for it is it's going to come down to these juggernauts in the middle, right? He has to clear them, and the bomber is undeniably the way to do that.
He could potentially go for another bomber if he wants to, but he's not. Okay, he's going to do that. He roads in there.
Yeah, I think this is the right play. I really do. Again, if he sits back and plays a bit more passive and invites too much pressure, he's not going to be able to. He's not going to be able to do much. He has to take advantage of any sort of position he can.
Mm-hmm.
Goes for a scout as well. I think it was the right play. It might accelerate his downfall if Mickzoo can find a way in, but I think that was the correct play.
Yeah.
Because now Mickzoo has to deal with it.
Yeah, Mickzoo has to deal with it, and what Willibomb effectively is doing here is making sure that those, like you said, those giants are not able to apply too much pressure into the center there, because as soon as those giants connect to his land, because he's got 2 giants in the back as well that can very well follow up. So all those giants on land now are going to do some extra follow-up damage, or the juggernauts, I mean, on the ocean. They're going to do some extra follow-up damage. I'm not sure if Willibomb remembers or sees them. He should probably know there are giants there, because you can always see which ones are being produced in Xio and in Chaio. But from this spot, Willibomb's strategy has to be to get control of the ocean. I think that is going to be his way of, getting dominance and slowly pushing back. Because as soon as he gets control of the ocean, he's going to be able to deal with the oncoming threat of additional ocean troops, and he's able to defend slightly up from land attacks, especially up north there.
Navigation of his own.
Okay, that is going to be big. He hits that. Okay, he can go for a second bomber if he wants it. The 9 HP though, I'm not sure if it's worth it. But let's see what he does. Moves in. Okay, he can move his other one in. Nice. Hit and kill, or you can move your 34 HP giant next to the 20 HP just to deal splash there. Potentially kill that. Oh, brutal.
I think that bomb is going to get finished off though.
Yeah.
He's got that 9 up north he might have to use, but yeah. There it is. I think that's going to be pretty devastating. Now that all the that's so many juggernauts, man. Ooh. There's a bomber. That's a lot of splash damage. And a giant in the north as well. The pendulum beginning to swing towards Mickzoo. Momentum in his favor. Willibomb's going to have to do something pretty special to get out of this hole. Looking for any sort of mistake Mickzoo's going to make. Any gap in the line. What can Willibomb do? There's a big star deficit to make up. A large amount of kills. A large amount of units. And they're all in the center.
Mm-hmm.
It's just shattered his front line, really.
And this is the benefit of having those additional villages. I mean, if it weren't for the top, like imagine if Willibomb had more control of the northern villages, he would, be in such better position. But unfortunately, he doesn't. Right, so let's see how he moves now. He's gonna go down 2 turns away from getting that giant live. Okay, he's trying to get some more kills. Goes for the bomber. Okay. Fighting back. I like it. It's good. He's gonna get that. Okay. Has to kill the bomber. Another kill there. Now, one of the things that we commented on in one of Mickzoo's first games was his ability, or I wouldn't say inability, but how much he struggled with dealing with Le Liberateur's defense. And one of the things that he did was, to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it seemed like he was a little bit back and forth with his offense, whereas now, it seems like he's going all in. He's not holding back, because he's got the giant up north there. He's got all his juggernauts moving towards the center, and he's just trying to make sure that he can control the water. Because I think he also recognizes that if Willibomb does get control of the water, it's going to be harder for Mickzoo to win. It's going to even out the game a lot. But the village difference, though, it does make a big difference.
Yeah.
I just don't want to shy away from that.
I know. The risk was that he's more spread out, but he's managed the defense accordingly, like you said, across the board. He focused in the center where he needed to be to make sure he could respond to anything, and now he's starting to punish Willibomb for that difference in cities. Again, it's only the spreading out of your cities is only a threat if you can't defend it or you make a mistake, and that's not something the Mickzoo's done here.
Mm-hmm.
But he does need to hit that backline of boats.
Yeah. But those juggernauts, they're just, I think they were doing too much damage onto his juggernauts. Like, he's not able to, because Mickzoo had the greater number of juggernauts. He was able to follow, sacrifice a couple of juggernauts, although not many have died, or not a single one has died. But he did have additional juggernauts in the back. So as soon as those frontline juggernauts were getting low, he'd simply follow up with the others. And then, now he has the economic lead, and he's able to produce his own bombers, kind of retaliate and make sure that Willibomb doesn't get good value from his bombers, I would say. I mean, if I'm Mickzoo right now, I definitely want to go ahead and siege Shasuzu. As soon as I capture that, and I'm about to siege Yogu, it's gonna be, I think, game for Willibomb, if not already.
Yeah, he needs to come up with something big here. I don't know where he needs to find something, but he's a better player than me. So if anyone can, it's him. He does have the time on the clock to think. He's
But I do really want to give
it now.
Willibomb some props, though. I mean, he is such a consistent player. To be able to, reach, like you said earlier, the tribe qualifiers so consistently with multiple tribes is a feat of its own. So a part of me is rooting for Willibomb, just out of sheer commitment. But
yeah, we gotta be realistic about these things, though.
Yeah, but Mickzoo is doing very well. Mickzoo.
He's thinking.
He's thinking very hard here, as he should.
Maybe he's playing mind games. Maybe he's hoping if he waits 2-3 minutes, Mickzoo runs off to the bathroom and thinking, I've got time. Willibomb plays his turn, instant victory. Again, look, you got to play the man, not the game.
Yeah.
And with a deficit of 9 units and 20 stars a turn, in addition with Jogu being under siege and Shazu most likely next, as you say, Willibomb's going to have to do a lot of thinking to try and come up with it. And maybe trying to get rid of Mickzoo's internet could work. That is technically, I read the rules of the tournament. There's nothing that says you can't do that.
It can't. Yeah, nothing says you can't hack your opponent's internet and Wi-Fi.
I'm not saying it's encouraged, of course not, but maybe we should look at the rules. Maybe that's Willibomb's what he's trying to do right now.
Yeah.
Let's see.
All right, is he able to unsiege? He is. Yeah, so he can get a giant there. Did some math. He's like, yeah, I'm able to hold them off. So
kill the giant man.
He's not able to siege.
Yeah, there's a bit of a threat there. Don't hate that.
He could maybe damage the. Does he have ramming? Yeah, he does.
He does have ramming, yeah.
So he could siege the unit there, but I think he might be able to unsiege either way. Okay. So he won't be able to hold that siege on Poxitsu, although it would be great for him to get that. Like if he got that, tides would shift.
Yeah, there wouldn't be really much that Mickzoo could do. But again, we're talking about that overextension. I don't know that he's quite overextended enough. Okay, giant push there. Okay. He's doing something that Mickzoo now has threatened. He does get the siege with a defender, no less. Okay.
So yeah, he can. Mickzoo can unsiege though. He can unsiege. So
he definitely can. But still, it's something, and it does alleviate the pressure a little bit.
Well, wait a minute. Can he actually? I need to double check this because that giant is in the way. So, and I believe that Juggernaut is currently in the zone of control, so it won't be able to move onto the land. And
let's see,
so he's gonna have 1-2 riders.
He's doing a lot on his turn. We were saying.
Oh, wait a minute. He might actually be able to hold this siege. Let's double check what Mickzoo has on his turn in terms of units. If he has a scout in the back there, or a raft, he could turn that into a scout.
Heal Shatsu, aquatism. All right, I like it.
Okay. So he does have the scout. He does have the bomber that can hit the Juggernaut. Okay, so he does. He might be able to unsiege this. I think so. Yeah.
You get a giant.
Yeah, and he could probably also get a giant, no?
I'll be honest, that's not my analysis.
I like to.
I got a little note in.
one one monument and giant pushed off. So, but I like to always consider, can he kill the incoming siege or not? And he has, okay, so double bomber. There we go. That's done siege. So
there we go. Willibomb is done.
Not able to hold.
It was a good play from Willibomb, but Mickzoo not falling victim to what we've seen previously, which has been overextension and not having your troops in the right area. And well, he was able to get the city count up and was able to defend on all areas. I think it's a pretty good performance from him. What do you think?
I thought that was a great play by both. I mean, of course, when you do have such an advantageous position in terms of village count, you were 9 villages to 5 or 6. That is a big difference. And I think what Willibomb was hoping for here was, could he have sieged that city that he was about to siege?
Yeah.
If he did get that siege, then the difference would have been big. I think.
Did he have the population for a giant? Did he have the population for a giant though? It felt to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, it felt to me like a bit of a last-ditch attempt. I think in his mind he was like, "This is it. I've got to go for it. There's no other choices, and we'll see." I think Mickzoo had him.
I mean, realistically, he was not going to be able to hold it, but it was an attempt by Willibomb. He was like, I have to do something. If I don't do, I can give up now, or I can try and gamble. The possibility of me holding the siege is low, but I'm gonna try, and I'm gonna go for it. If it works out, then I may have a turn or two left to kind of make a play here. And I think that's what he was hoping for. Pretty early on, as soon as I noticed that Mickzoo was able to get a hold of those villages, it was really leaning towards Mickzoo.
Yeah.
We did, discuss that in terms of the village count and how much that means. Both players as well had decent openers, but Willibomb was just not able to expand to the north as fast as Mickzoo, which really made the difference in that game. So
absolutely. Well, Willibomb now gets a chance to have his revenge. He has to win this game if he's to keep his hopes alive, or it will be yet another final that he loses. Mickzoo, a surprising contender. We thought he'd be out in the semi-finals, and yet here he is, just one win away. Take it away with the start.
Well, start is looking pretty good. Both players very close to the lighthouse. A little bit unlucky for Willibomb that there is a water tile there. Otherwise, or had that been a mountain, he could have very easily gone for a tier 0 opener, capital upgrade. But goes for hunting here to get the upgrade on his capital, and that is also going to give him the additional stars required, if I'm not mistaken. No, he's got 4 stars. He's going to need an additional 2 to get smithery or mining. Okay, both players very similar opener here. Okay, yeah. So gets the additional upgrade here, and I mean, when you are playing like this, the first technology that you buy, like for example here, both players went for hunting, and that makes a lot of sense for a tribe like Xin-xi when your other villages also support the upgrade of with hunting. So for example, Pacha had hunting animals. The village that he's about to capture now has 2 animals. This is going to give him some good upgrades. And they both discovered each other here, or well, Willibomb discovered Mickzoo. He's gonna discover Willibomb right now. There we go. So they both discovered each other. They both know where they are. What I'm looking forward to here is how will both of these players play this game compared to last. Last game was very naval heavy. This game is going to be more land heavy. That is one thing that we're going to be seeing a lot more of here. Land game. So riders, archers. We saw that Willibomb just went for forestry. He's got hunting forestry, which puts him into very close to archery. Same with Mickzoo. Also got the hunting, which puts him close to archery as well, and is going to give him that juicy defense bonus on the forest tiles.
I do like it when there's a bit more of a land war and he's unbiased towards them. We'll have to see. Forestry. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. So let's change now. So he's also gone for forestry. Now, several reasons why he could have done this. First, we know that he does like to chop, which he's doing right now. He's been pretty consistent in going forestry, chopping, getting some upgrades in. The other benefit of going for forestry is catapults, and of course, you're close to. Both players again also went for hunting, like I just mentioned. So it does enable archery, it does enable sawmills, which gives you access to two very powerful units on the land, which is something that we're most likely going to be seeing this game. Now, the one thing that is a little bit risky here, I mean, if we take a look at the land there is a lot of land that is moving in between those mountains. So riders is also a very, very possible play here. And those riders can reach very far. So we're also most likely going to see some rider action, rider roads. Now, one thing that I'd like to see from Willibomb here is maybe a warrior down south in Xin-xi, just to kind of explore the edge of that map. Hopefully acquire some villages on the way. Because from the looks of it, he's got, he can heal that 5 HP warrior, so that's most likely going to live. Okay, it goes for archery, and he's going to produce an archer straight away.
It's interesting. You think he's going to maybe park one on the mountain?
Does Willibomb...
I think he is. I think he's gonna park one on the mountain. Willibomb can't see.
Yeah, what I like about this play is that Willibomb knows that Mickzoo doesn't have vision because he never entered the mountain, and based on his points, I think these players they know based on his points. And the fact that no single mine has been taken, he knows that, okay, he doesn't have vision. So what Willibomb wants to do now is maybe try and go for a siege. He could, and he will. So Mickzoo is for sure going to be able to unsiege that. But why did he do this? I think one of the main reasons is, even though Willibomb probably thinks, well, Mickzoo can't, Mickzoo can unsiege, but what he's doing is look at how he distracted those troops. So now, for example, archery he does have the additional one in the back there. Okay, so maybe Willibomb was trying to distract him a little bit from advancing further north. Although Mickzoo was like, yeah, I can unsiege, no problem.
Yeah,
I still got my warriors here.
He's phased by that.
Yeah.
Still early kills though, and faster turns.
Yeah. 2 kills already. Both players at 3 cities. Now you see that Mickzoo is just moving his warrior in the back there. He might go on the mountain just to get the lighthouse. Hopefully discover a ruin. You could also go for move towards the south here, and similar to what I was hoping for Willibomb, maybe discover some villages and some other ruins along the way.
Worth pointing out, again, received communication of a point we should mention, that obviously sieging means that he's reducing the economy of Mickzoo, at least for a turn, which obviously early game, quite impactful. So he might just want to keep pressure on that so that Mickzoo has to defend it to try and deny him those kind of crucial early starts.
Absolutely. And that is also one of these things with sieging. I think that is one of his biggest villages, right? 3 stars per turn now, or 4 stars per turn. So sieging that village is reducing his income every single turn. So the one thing now is that he doesn't have a lot of warriors to siege with. So those archers can definitely hack away on Shaxi. I mean, Shaxi at 4 stars per turn that he lost out on. Okay.
It's an interesting strategy from Willibomb. I think I like it. I don't know if it's worth necessarily the investment. He's going to have to get a decent return in terms of preventing Mickzoo from getting the benefits of those stars. Obviously, he does have the archers to keep peppering him, but
so
do you think it was maybe to distract him to try and stall him so that he could make sure he gets that city north?
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of like what I was thinking, which would make a lot of sense, is that he went for all of these archers to apply a lot of pressure onto Shaxi, that village there, to distract him from advancing further north. I mean, Willibomb last game lost previous game just because he didn't have enough villages, and he lost a huge portion of the map that if he had gotten that would have really shifted the tide. So what he's effectively doing now is applying so much pressure onto that village, and Mickzoo again doesn't have the vision, so he doesn't know if, hey, is there another warrior in the back? Is that warrior now all of a sudden going to siege again? Mickzoo's not taking that chance and decided to move his additional units down instead of advancing them north, which gives Willibomb the opportunity now to expand towards the north and really capture and start applying pressure from that side as well. So if I'm Willibomb in this spot here, first things first, level up, but also how do I deal with these archers? He has to move into riders, or he has to go for archery himself. But he's at least a turn away. So next turn he can go for archery, and then maybe do something here. But the mathematics is a very interesting choice by Willibomb here. Catapults just one-shots those warriors, and it's going to be very effective in dealing with the giants that are about to most likely come. I mean, he does have a level 4 forge spot in the middle there.
This game is in stark contrast to every other Xin-xi game that we've seen so far, aside from that one early giant push that came as a result of ruin, of the ruins. So I'm intrigued by this. It's a different strategy we're used to, and of course it is Willibomb pushing the action. They go veteran status for the archer.
Yeah, that's huge.
He's just gonna pop all of these guys.
So this is looking very grim, I would say, for Mickzoo here, because Willibomb can just keep spamming archers, and he could even siege next turn if he'd want to. If
he's really good at finding an opportunity where it doesn't seem like there'd be that big of a deal. Like earlier on, we're saying, he can just unsiege it. It's that early eco loss. But to Willibomb, this is a concerted effort of ending the game early, and it looks like he's potentially on the way to doing just that. We have to see what Mickzoo's going to do here, but the trades are in favor of Willibomb. Mickzoo only has 2 units, only has the 3 cities, and he's going to have to keep on spamming out units and keep them around to stop Willibomb from taking the cities. Meanwhile, Willibomb can put a unit down south and a unit up north to get more of these villages. I mean, that's decent. Starroom, Smithery.
Star helps. He's going to be able to get a giant there now.
Nice, there we go.
That is going to be big for Mickzoo. Getting some momentum back here, swinging his way. That giant is now going to make sure that those archers that he's gotten, they need to retreat. Now, the benefit of having all of these archers is that, they can just chip away at the giant. So,
yeah,
unless Mickzoo gets
another giant,
then
suddenly things aren't looking as consistent. I mean, how much of that do you think was contingent on the star rune?
Well, he definitely got lucky there with the star rune. I think that he calculated at least the giant, because he did save, I believe, 8 stars last turn. So
yeah, but he needed it. He had to.
Yeah, and when I saw that, I thought, okay, well, so he can definitely giant push and make sure that he doesn't get sieged there. And like you pointed out earlier, sieging does take away a lot of stars per turn. So he didn't want to, produce another warrior that was just going to die. It wouldn't have done anything there.
So now he has to retreat and whittle away. But now suddenly 2 giants are facing him down, and Willibomb has to think, how do I contain this and try and get momentum back?
Yeah.
Gonna need giants of his own. But they're obviously not on the front lines. Again, this is now a front line of Willibomb's choosing, and perhaps a little too far away.
Yeah, I think the good thing for Willibomb here is that he has very good vision of especially the front line of Mickzoo. So he can make very good decisions for combat here. And look at that, 23 HP in 1 turn. He's going to be able to kill the other giant next turn. And despite having 3 giants here, he can produce a catapult in the back. He can, even 2. And Mickzoo doesn't really have anything immediately to deal with those. Well, there we go. Actually, now he does. Now he's got the archers. So this is the comeback here that we're looking for. Mickzoo was able to hold the fort, and he's going to go for the lighthouse. Okay, I would have probably just produced another warrior in Xin-xi and then kept moving that warrior down. But okay, let's see what he does here. So goes for the kill there. Oh, okay. Well, he can probably move that in here. Now, getting his own giant here is going to be very important to hold off any push that Mickzoo is gonna come with here. Now, 2 giants moving towards the front lines. The Willibomb is slowly going to move those archers back to make sure he can keep chipping away on those on Mickzoo's giants. What Willibomb needs to do here is he has to consider, how am I going to make the most effective trades, right? And I think he's going to be doing a pretty good job at that. Like, it's 6 kills to 2. Mickzoo is able to kill that warrior. He can't kill with a 1 HP warrior, can he? It's gonna be 1 HP. Yeah, he's sending it back. Yeah, get some archers here now, and he definitely needs that. He needs to find a way to kind of come back here, and it's the lighthouse. Now, will he go for catapults here? That's the question. I mean, he could produce catapults very safely down in Charlie, and Mickzoo won't see them coming, or at least he can't see them.
We're just both sitting here waiting to see what Willibomb's going to do. He's a lot of fun to watch, Willibomb. He's probably one of my favorites to watch. Him and Justine Linguini are both very good at positioning themselves for what they want to do a couple of turns down the line.
Riding roads, okay. And that is really gonna give us a lot of action moving forward here. So riding roads will give your riders, riders give you two tiles of movement. But with the roads, it's gonna give you 4. So you'll have 4 tiles of movement. You can use the archers to chip away those giants down to 25, 23 HP. And then you can use the riders to kind of follow up, attack, hit those giants, and then retreat, and then heal them up. And those giants, those riders could also be used for some very sneaky movement, and somehow maybe get a siege, or even hit those other archers that he has up top there. And one thing that I also want to point out is he did see there was a village, which was 1 bridge away, so he could also move towards that if he'd want to. So this is a very, I would say, is a good play by Mickzoo applying pressure there, because what he's effectively doing is he's forcing Willibomb to either retreat or sacrifice his archers to kill one of his archers. So he's really moving closer, because that other archer that Mickzoo has up top there is now going to be able to hit and be protected by the giants in the front. And writing roads as well for Mickzoo here. Why would he do this? I think similar reasons as to why Willibomb would. It's to give him the greater range. I mean, he's going to be producing a lot of units in the back. The faster you can also get your units to the front line, the better. Right? I mean, if you were to play an archer in Shoxi right now, it's going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 turns until they're kind of close to the front line. So it's going to take a while. Whereas Rider Rhodes, now he's able to get access to the front lines a lot faster. And let's not forget about markets, of course. So, we just saw Willibomb go for trade here, which, self-explanatory, gives you additional resources, additional stars per turn, which will give you a lot more to work with throughout the game. And this is what I'm missing from Willibomb. That, you look at what Mickzoo's doing down south there, slowly expanding, right?
Well, this is what I was expecting to see from Willibomb, not from Mickzoo with that earlier push. So that's what I was saying. But it may be Willibomb falling victim to focusing too much on that central push. What do you think?
Yeah, Willibomb, instead of going for the lighthouse, I think he should have advanced a lot faster to just with one warrior would have been more than enough. Just slowly kind of explore, see if he can find some villages, some very easy villages. It wouldn't have cost him a lot. That would have, or might even give him a nice new angle to push from. Very cheap investment here. But look at Mickzoo applying pressure again. He's got 4 archers now of his own. And he's kind of, what he's doing here is he's making sure that if Willibomb comes in with one of his giants, he has enough to respond and make sure that he doesn't siege that village in the middle there. And of course, let's not forget, even if he does siege, he's got too many units surrounding him. He could easily do a Houdini. But yeah, that one warrior down there spent so much time in the corner just for a lighthouse. Was it worth it?
I don't know. Is this the answer?
Yeah, I don't think it was worth it. But
despite Mickzoo crawling south, I still do favor. I think I favor Willibomb in this position. I still do.
Well, with the markets here, this is going to make a big difference.
I think he's sort of doing a little bit of a fighting retreat. We'll see what those giants can achieve in the south, well, in the middle of the map, sorry. The problem is knowing when to stop a push and when it's stalled out. There's a difference between stopping it and it's stalling.
Yeah.
Which might sound like the exact same thing, but stalling it out means that you've carried the momentum too far beyond where it should have been and now can invite a counter. Stopping it means that you're stopping in a favorable position. And I think sometimes some players they stall instead of stop. I think Willibomb is one of those that's more likely to stop. But I mean, we're starting to see a lot more units in the middle here from Mickzoo. Let's see where he goes. Where do you go now if you're Mickzoo?
I mean, what Mickzoo is doing here is, he's one win away from taking becoming the champion here. So he gets the siege here, which is huge for him.
Well, so he won't be able to hold it, but again, why not deny the economy?
Yeah. And not just that, but it's also directing attention towards the siege there. One thing that I hope Willibomb will do moving forward is produce a couple of catapults in the back. If he gets those catapults, he can move those slowly in. He needs to have some wall of defense, so I would really try and make sure that those giants are protected. He can, make sure that the riders can't hit the catapults should they advance.
Knowing what we know now, who would you rather hop in as? If you had to take over one of these games.
Probably Willibomb, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I mean, he just has so many more stars to work with now. Like, I actually favor Willibomb even from this position. Despite Mickzoo having a great push, I think that with Willibomb's economy, he's going to be able to hold off. And, like, let's not forget, 47 stars. If he wants to, if he really wants to, he could go Chivalry right now.
I'd be surprised by that. I'd like to see it.
Yeah, I'd be surprised too, but he could.
He could.
And look at all those squishy units that he has. So he's, I don't see it happening, but he could if he'd want to.
Yeah, and these are good trades for Willibomb. Again, he has the star advantage. Not often do we see it, and we should see it more often. When you have an income advantage, you should push your opponent into trades. Because the percentage of your income that it represents to produce more units is favorable to you. So why not keep going for those trades constantly? They are forced to do something. You always have them on the back foot. And hopefully we'll start seeing... Like, I think Willibomb's fantastic at that. I think he's one of the better players at doing that. So I think that is probably going to be the strategy here. Slowly build up, and at the same time, keep enough pressure that Mickzoo can't leave the front, has to keep trading, otherwise he starts to stall. But at the same time, making sure it doesn't overextend.
Yeah, and double the stars basically, right? 39 to 21. It's he's 3 stars short, 3 stars short of having double the amount of stars per turn, which is huge, really. And it's really what you're saying, Leif. Like, when you are in such an advantageous position with economy, just push. And this is why. Like, part of me just, for lols, hopes he goes for a Chivalry here. It just would be fun to see. Would it be the wisest thing? Maybe not. But that's why I'm not sitting there and
look. It doesn't matter about what's the wisest. Double the amount of units now.
All right.
We have to see something from Mickzoo. 14 kills to 8. Ugh.
And this is one of the moments where resources is going to help Mickzoo out. It's going to give him some better direction here. He's 10 additional stars from this spot can really make a big difference. So yeah, he's getting this giant here, it seems. Gonna kill that and just go ahead and keep defending. But now he doesn't really have the offense that he had a turn or two ago, right? So that little push that he tried to make, he's back to square one. Back to kind of where he started with most of his units in his village. Now Willibomb is in a position to kind of consolidate his troops and do a counter push again if he'd want to, or he could save for an additional turn.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, yes.
He got his back, Willibomb, to have a little bit of fun.
He did it. Yay. So maybe it was the wise thing to do, huh?
Look, I still don't know about the wise thing to do, but it's certainly it's the best thing to do.
But who said this? I think it was Elon who said, like, the most entertaining outcome is the most likely or something.
I want to see how much entertainment can happen with these knights that I'm sure will arrive.
So we'll definitely have one knight this turn, which should be mobile next turn. And that knight, I mean, Mickzoo, he should probably produce it in Chali. Mickzoo wouldn't see it coming. He does know he got some tech. And look at that, what he's doing. He's really hacking away at that giant there, making it nice and low. Oh, he's going to go ahead and kill it straight away. Okay. So Chali would be my guess for where he would position his knight. It could be Gucha too, but probably go for Chali there, because I think Mickzoo has vision on Gucha, so I'd see it coming, but he doesn't have vision on Chali.
There it is.
Yeah. Oh no, he doesn't even have vision on the top one. Okay, so he goes for Chivalry as well.
We're about to have a night off.
Yeah, it was really inevitable. I mean, all these squishy units in the middle there. The thing is, Willibomb's knight is mobile 1 turn faster than Mickzoo, so and unless Mickzoo somehow is really good with counting points, he's like, yeah, he got chivalry or he got some kind of tier 3 tech. It's kind of hard to keep track of that when you're going, you know, later and later into the game. It's easier early game, but you know. Okay, so how can he do this? Oh, right, wow, look at that. He moved his archer back. Does he know that?
You might know that the text happened, but I mean, again, there's a big difference, and a knight is one of those things that can, like, in Polytopia, given how the gameplay works and how the combat works, there aren't that many units that can have game-changing impact, right? You have like a slow push and pull. Knights, my opinion, the unit really where everything can happen in an instant if you're not careful.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a good gamble from Mickzoo as well, and hopefully Willibomb is able to get someone here as well.
So most likely hitting the swordsman and then trying to chain the different swordsmen, and he's gonna have to try and knock these down. So he gets one, goes for the other. Yeah, Mickzoo resigned.
There it is.
1-1. Oh.
There it is. 1-1. It was never going to be a clean sweep. We knew this.
All right. It's getting exciting.
Well, look, it's a best of 3. It is going to come down to the final game, Mickzoo versus Willibomb. And from what I'm seeing, I think both players are not quite mirrors of each other, but both show that in the face of adversity, they can push back a little bit, but the other one shows that they can keep their foot on the gas. In my opinion, that's what we've seen in both these games. You know, an advantage is exploited. The other player counters it really nicely, but the former does push through. What do you think of that?
I thought that was an exciting game. I mean, well played by Willibomb, going for the early archers and recognizing that he could punish Mickzoo, who went in a different direction there. That really, you know, forced Mickzoo into the defense, right? I mean, Willibomb was able to go for the sawmill as well, despite not going for catapults. He was able to build up his economy. Instead of mining and forges, he went for sawmills and archers, and that just boosted his economy. He was then able to go for trade, boost his economy even further, and then capitalize on that with more units and faster chivalry, which you know made Mickzoo be like, nah, shit, I ain't doing this.
I'm not dealing with it. Again, it's one of those things where, like, sometimes you need to rely on your opponent to make a mistake. That's the nature of RNG. But with players like this, you need to try and force a mistake, and it's really hard to do. But we get one more game. This is it. After an entire day, 1,500 players have tried to clamor for this spot. We are down to Mickzoo and Willibomb. After thousands of games, we are down to just one more. Here we go.
All right, let's go. What is happening on this map right now? Mickzoo, Willibomb here again, or that little lake blocking his lighthouse. Let's see what Mickzoo does here. So he's gotten, you know, pretty good tier 3, level 3 forge spot here. Same with Willibomb. So both players thus far on their capital, some good forge spots. Okay. Level 2 forge, level 2 forge, level 3 forge. Not bad. Goes for the village instead of the ruin. Give him a good play early game. Both players quite close again, I would say.
Yep.
Very close. This is going to be exciting. So Mickzoo with the tier 3 mining opener here, going for a upgrade on his capital. We're likely seeing the same from Willibomb here. Yes, we are. He's also going to level up his cap. Or he's going to go for an early explorer. I wouldn't see why though. But what are you thinking about? Are you considering explore?
He's thinking something.
That
Here
took
we go.
long with internet
Yeah.
issues. Huh.
No, I don't think so. I think he's just pondering.
Huh. It's interesting. I mean, the opening like this is pretty standard for Xin-xi there, but so in Mickzoo's city, they're a little bit unlucky with his resources here. He's probably gonna get forced into going for forestry. But yeah, finds Mickzoo here very fast, and again, this is looking like a similar start. A little bit unfortunate for Willibomb that he didn't get the hunting opener here. It could have been one, but he did recognize that there was a lot of power in going for the mining, and you know, the odds of starting this close to each other is not the biggest. You know, like back-to-back games. Maybe he was hoping for a little bit more distance between them so he could level up. But, you know, you kind of have to play based on what your previous tech was. So let's see what this ruin will give him, though. It's for sure not going to give him an explorer, considering that it's on a mountain and he's just discovered all the fog around. So most likely it's going to be a swordsman, tech, stars, or pop growth. It's basically everything apart from an explorer here. Finds another rune here, and he's going to be able to get to that before Willibomb. So he's going to get 2 runes early game. And we've seen Mickzoo's luck with the runes here.
Yeah.
He might get very lucky.
So
You know,
continues.
that one game against the Liberateur with the stars early on shifted the tide.
Well, what do you think it's going to be? We'll take bets.
What I think that rune is going to be,
Yep.
oh, tough one.
Swordsman.
Maybe stars.
Watch.
Population.
Population,
All
okay.
right.
Fair
That is
enough.
also good.
Cast the
Also
cards.
very good. Gets the lighthouse. He should be in a position to choose some tech here. Goes for the vision instead. Now that is actually I would say that is a very interesting but good play. Like we mentioned earlier, when you position a unit like a warrior on a mountain, it doesn't take 2 hits to kill it. It takes 3 hits now. So Willibomb is not able to attack that warrior and kill it with those 2 warriors that he has. He now needs to decide, is he going to move down towards the ruin and make himself more vulnerable, or is he going to go for a try? I mean, what are the options really? Okay, moves his goes there. Does that wait? Yeah, no, that was only spot for level 3 forge there. Okay. All right, so Mickzoo finds his own runes here. He does have a little bit more action, more troops to work with there on the front line to contest that one rune there. Given that Yosha only is still level 1, which caps him at 2 units. With Willibomb, he's got 3 units. So Mickzoo has to send 1 unit from Lixigu down if he wants to, try and contend that. But then again, Willibomb could produce some units up in Sucha, but he didn't. Okay.
Go on then, for the
He's
final
gonna
time
use-
today, give me a percentage.
Oh, percentage now? So early. 50-50, man.
Yeah,
50-50.
100%.
Yeah. It's very early to tell. I mean, both, runes can shift the tide so early, and Mickzoo does get the early giant before 2 giants actually. If he decides to go for the giant in Lixigu now and pop his part, or he could pop it in Yosha and go for another warrior there, but I don't know, man. I'd probably go for the giant, and he does, yeah. So this allows him to go for a little bit of a more aggressive push here with those giants. We now know where both players are. It's not like they're on the other side of the map. So these giants are going to be... Oh, and look at Sucha. It's so close to that giant there. So I think what Willibomb needs to do now, because he can see, right? He can see those giants. He has to really produce his own giants here if he's going to face and deal with that. Goes for Smithery here. ignores the animals, and he's like, no, I just need to level up here. And he can go for an additional park. Gets a nice upgrade there. And pop another one in the middle on that fruit tile if he wants. Or he can go for units.
I couldn't ask for a better map, to be honest. I think for a final face down in a best of 3 final.
Yeah, it's
I like this one.
I think this is a cool map as well. I mean, when you're starting so close to each other, it definitely makes the game a little bit more exciting because there's just so much more action earlier on.
Yeah.
And it adds to a level of decision making that you don't really have when you don't have a lot of combat early on. So, yeah, going for a third giant here. Even in terms of stars, but unit-wise, Mickzoo is advancing his troops a lot faster than Willibomb here, and this is gonna give Mickzoo pretty much the secured ruin in the middle there. Willibomb will get his own 2 ruins of himself now, so that's kind of there to get it even. And look at that archery.
Well, look, if it works once, it'll work twice. It's interesting to see the psychology of these games, right? Where you see a successful strategy is generally then used in the next game, and a failing one isn't.
Yes, and this, the fact that he's going for archers here, this is going to force a response from Mickzoo. I mean, he does have hunting himself, so he's set himself up to also go for archery. The question is whether he's going to go for it this turn or next turn, or because he needs something to kind of deal with these giants. Well, Willibomb, that is. He needs something. He's going for archery. Mickzoo should probably go for something to attack from behind those giants. Okay. Goes for archery himself, yeah. Oh, okay. Now, I am looking at this. Oh, swordsman, no, 2. Oh, that is actually unlucky. I'm not gonna lie. That is a little
the
bit
mirror
unlucky.
image of Mickzoo's luck, eh? In the previous games.
Yeah. What do you do with two swordsmen, man? It's like, it's so slow. It's so far behind as well. Like, he's gonna, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
Look, he'll
turns?
get there when he gets there. He's gonna do his duty.
All right, well, let's see. So, well, giant is definitely the biggest threat here. He is a little bit far away. Yeah, he needs to find a way to deal with that giant. I mean, he doesn't have a way to unsiege. He doesn't have the resources. There's 1 fish, there's 1 fruit. Had he had gone for, but it's, hindsight. How can you tell? Willibomb, this is looking tough for you, man. 3 archers next turn. You can hit one of the giants this turn, but you won't be able to. Okay, so go for that to defend that. Gets a kill. Yeah, I mean, he's not 8 stars plus 14. I think he's trying to do some math here. He's like, what tech could I possibly buy? Because he doesn't even have them on him. No, because he popped it in Yobu. So his Park of Fortune was placed earlier. Had he had saved it for Sucha, maybe he could have done something there. But yeah, I don't see how he's able to unsiege. Mickzoo can siege that, which of course steals his stars. He's going to lose out on the stars. He realized that he can't produce a unit there because he's just going to die, and he has an archer in the back. Mickzoo is like, does he have a mindbender?
These are still quite close. I don't know how to make of this.
Well, I mean, I don't right now. Maybe everyone who's watching sees a way, but I don't see a way how he would be able to unsiege that.
You don't think so?
No, I mean,
I've
he
been saying
doesn't-
that all day. The reason I've said what I've just said is because I've been saying that all day, right? All day. And I've been wrong every time.
Well, I mean, consider this though, like he doesn't have enough units to kill it. Like he has one giant, he has archer and 2 in the back, so that's like 3, 6, 9, 10 damage. Plus that a giant is 15, 20. It's still going to be alive. He still needs at least 3 more units to kill it. And then in terms of technology, he has 18 stars. He's already popped his forge, so he's not getting any more population from there. He doesn't really have consolidated resources.
Let's see
he's
what
got
he can
one
do.
fleet. So he has to give it up. He might be able to get it back next turn, but
For now, though, it will be gone.
yeah, for now it's going to be gone. And then Mickzoo has the additional giant in the back there as well, so that's...
You have to wonder if either of those ruins had been different, what this game would have looked like.
Well, I really think Willibomb just got so unlucky with those ruins, man. Like
Yeah.
literally two, I mean, swordsmen in a very tense, high attack game. Like you want something that is going to give you immediate payoff. Swordsmen are just too slow in the spot. Like if the swordsman was in the middle there, maybe it would be better, but ideally he should have gotten resources. He should have gotten some sort of technology for free, maybe catapults, right? Could have gotten sawmill. He could have gotten. There were so many things he could have gotten, but twice.
Yeah,
that was a bummer.
But for the first time, oh, there it is.
Yeah, Willibomb
And
resigned.
there it is, Willibomb once again unable to make it all the way. Mickzoo is the Xin-xi representative